Cubs Pirates. Today at 2 East on WGN America.
We have been assigned a new house mom. I'd like you to meet Mrs. Stinspire.
Hello, girls! How I Met Your Mother. Tonight at 7:30 East, 4:30 West.
It is a gorgeous day in the neighborhood. Good day for a walk and a great day for Cubs baseball. It's the Hyundai leadoff man on WGN Sports. The Pirates and Cubs in Game 3 of a 4-game series. Happy Sunday. I'm Len Casper. Welcome to the leadoff man. The Cubs dropped yesterday's game. We'll get the highlights here in a second. They still have won 6 of their last 8 ball games, and the Pirates snapping a 7-game skid. They really needed that game, and now just 2 back in the wild card race. Let's get the highlights of Saturday afternoon's affair on Starlin Castro poster day here at the ballpark. Pirates off to an early start, leading already 2-0. Andrew McCutchen with his 2nd homer of the day, or of the series rather. That went off Jason Birkin in his Cub debut. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Bottom 3 now. Cubs able to get on the board. Anthony Rizzo with an RBI single. Joe Mather coming in. It's 3-1 Pirates. 4th inning, they would extend their lead. Starling Marte with a triple. That knocked in a run. To score, Clint Barmas 4-1. And then Travis Snyder back in the lineup with a base hit, a blooper to right. Marte in. 5-1 Pirates. Garrett Jones, the Chicago area native, with a double. Off the glove of Josh Vitters. Snyder in. 6-1 Pirates. Cubs would, however, make it very interesting in the ninth. Alfonso Soriano with a base hit, making it 7-5. Bases loaded Locke would make it 7-6, and then Dave Sapelt with 3 on and 2 outs strikes out against the closer Joel Hanrahan, who had to make 35 pitches as he got his 35th save. Wandy Rodriguez over Jason Birkin. A lot of pitchers used in the game last night. 7-6 Pirates, the final. The leadoff man is brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata at myhyundaichicago.com.
Wait, that's not enough buildup. And?
Research suggests cell health plays a key role throughout our lives. One-A-Day Women's 50 Plus is a complete multivitamin designed for women's health concerns as we age. It has more of 7 antioxidants to support cell health. One-A-Day 50 Plus.
Introducing Tropical Island Grill only at Golden Corral. This is island cooking at its best. It's breaded Cozumel Island shrimp, Fiji lemon pepper tilapia, and much more. It's all part of our endless dinner buffet, still for one low price, and it's only at Golden Corral.
Most women may not be properly absorbing the calcium they take because they don't take it with food. Switch to Citracal Maximum Plus D. It's the only calcium supplement that can be taken with or without food. That's why my doctor recommends Citracal Maximum. It's all about absorption.
At Domino's, we're obsessed with delivering you great pizza. So we want to invent the ultimate pizza delivery vehicle. Let's see what ideas our drivers have.
A mini fridge and an oven back there, that'd be perfect.
A gyroscopic pizza holder to keep the pizzas level.
A flying car with a jet engine.
Traffic mapping would be good.
That would sure get pizzas there fast.
It doesn't have to even be a car.
Like a tank.
It could be a tank. That would be awesome.
We'll stop at nothing to deliver you the best pizza possible. Like these 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each.
Cowhide dries out. So does your man hide. Regular men's body wash can dry out your skin. Only Dove Men Plus Care has micro moisture to fight skin dryness, so that man hide of yours stays clean and moisturized. Skincare built in.
The Hyundai Leadoff Man. Brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata at myhyundaichicago.com.
It is Sunday, and it is Stats Sunday, and we can't thank Jeff Passan enough. Longtime baseball columnist and sports columnist for Yahoo Sports. You can check him out on Twitter at Jeff Passan. He contributes today, and everyone can enjoy this one today. Old school. Batting average, home runs, and RBIs. They'll be around forever. We'll show you some interesting leaderboards, and today the all-time leaders in batting average. Ty Cobb 367 in his career. Rogers Hornsby hit 358. We'll give you the Cubs leaders as well, and also the Triple Crown winners leading in all three categories in a single season. Go to WGNTV.com/LennonBob to check out Passan's great blog piece today. More from Wrigley Field as we get you set for Cubs baseball on WGN.
We have been assigned a new house mom. I'd like you to meet Mrs. Stinspire.
Hello, girls! How I Met Your Mother, tonight at 7:30 East, 4:30 West.
Research suggests cell health plays a key role throughout our lives. One A Day Women's 50 Plus is a complete multivitamin designed for women's health concerns as we age. It has more of 7 antioxidants to support cell health. One A Day 50 Plus.
Looks like there's an opening for shipping coordinator, and I've got to pick someone. Tough decision.
Okay, you could be a rising star, but you just ordered a crispy McChicken and a fresh brewed sweet tea for only $1 each off McDonald's dollar menu. So you're smart, right?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Smart man. 2 sevens.
Oh!
Wow. The fox strikes again.
The fox strikes again. He's always striking.
The simple joy of being smart.
Good news, men use soap. Bad news, men use soap that can really dry their skin. Fear not, Dove Men Plus Care is here. It's the bar with 1/4 moisturizing cream, so it cleans and leaves skin feeling moisturized. Dove Men Plus Care.
Most women may not be properly absorbing the calcium they take because they don't take it with food. Switch to Citracal Maximum Plus D. It's the only calcium supplement that can be taken with or without food. That's why my doctor recommends Citracal Maximum. It's all about absorption.
I have unlocked a secret. The source of all creation.
We record everything through all lifetimes.
Good science allows for more than one opinion. Otherwise, you merely have the will of one man, which is the basis of a cult.
He's making all this up as he goes along. You don't see that?
You are an everlasting spirit.
I don't want to hear this. Just say something that's true!
Rated R, everywhere Friday. The Hyundai Leadoff Man. Brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata at myhyundaichicago.com.
Pitching matchup today, rookie left-hander Jeff Locke for the Pirates. Right-hander Chris Volstad for the Cubs. He's won 3 of his last 4 outings. And let's go first to third. And we're just going to look at all the playoff races. Just over 2 weeks left in the season. The Nationals, Reds, and Giants all should easily win their divisions. Much closer in each of the divisional races in the American League. The NL wild card, the Braves are going to be in fine shape. You've got the Dodgers and St. Louis tied. The Pirates are 2 back. Milwaukee just 2.5 out. The Phillies 3 back. And in the American League wild card, the A's have beaten the Orioles each of the last 2 days to take a 3-game lead. Gorgeous day here at Wrigley Field. The Pirates and the Cubs have split the first 2 games of this 4-game set. We'll have the 3rd game coming up next.
So let me get this straight. You're telling me that this car is just as reliable as a Honda Accord next door?
Well, pretty much. It has a super long warranty. That's not the same thing. Sure it is. If anything breaks, you can rely on the warranty. So it's reliable.
So it's the warranty that's reliable, not necessarily the car.
Were you this tough on the Honda dealer? I feel like you weren't.
The Accord from Honda. Named most trusted brand in America by KBB.com. Only a Honda is a Honda.
Why do we have Aflac?
Aflac?
And Major Medical?
Major Medical, boy, yeah! I help pay the doctor. Ain't that enough for you?
There are things Major Medical doesn't do.
Aflac
Pays cash so we don't have to fret.
Something families should get.
Like a safety net.
Help with food, gas, and rent, so cover your back with...
Help protect your family at Aflac.com.
At Domino's, we're obsessed with delivering you great pizza. So we want to invent the ultimate pizza delivery vehicle. Let's see what ideas our drivers have.
A mini fridge and an oven back there, that'd be perfect.
A gyroscopic pizza holder to keep the pizzas level.
A flying car with a jet engine. Traffic mapping would be good.
That would sure get pizzas there fast.
It doesn't have to even be a car.
Like a tank.
It could be a tank.
That would be awesome.
We'll stop at nothing to deliver you the best pizza possible. Like these 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each.
I was running with a pretty desperate fad diet. The kale cleanse. New Healthy Choice Greek frozen yogurt helped bring me back. Getting to indulge in creamy 100-calorie treats made with real fruit whenever I want. I used to hide a secret stash of kale in there. Now I use it to do yoga.
Don't diet. Live healthy with new Greek frozen yogurt from Healthy Choice.
Every film director knows you have to go through a little pain to get the shot. America's Funniest Home Videos, weeknights at 7 on WGN America. The following is a sports presentation of WGN America.
That's the corner of Waveland and Sheffield as fans get ready to file into the Budweiser bleachers. And we're set for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Game 3 of a 4-game wraparound weekend series as the Pirates and Cubs do battle. And we welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Great to have you with us today. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. The Pirates won yesterday, but the Cubs have still won 6 of their last 8 games. Let's talk defense today. And Darwin Barney had one of the best defensive games we've ever seen yesterday.
Well, yesterday was an amazing game for Darwin, but we've grown very accustomed to seeing outstanding defensive plays. But he had it all on display yesterday, showing his range, going deep in the hole between first and second. The best in the game at fielding pop-ups from his position at second base, and then a diving stop to his left once again. Whether you use old school metrics or ultimate zone rating, defensive wins above replacement, whatever numbers you want to use, Darwin Barney's the best defensive second baseman in the league.
Already has a National League record, 130 in a row at second base without an error, and he's less than 2 weeks away possibly of setting the all-time Major League record. Got to have good defense when Chris Volstad is on the mound because of that sinker.
Yeah, ideally his sinker is working well like it was last time out against Houston. He really had to work hard to pick up his 3rd victory in his last 4 starts. You see what some of the Buccos have done against the Cubs right-hander in their career.
Yeah, Pedro Alvarez, the only guy with good success. Left-hander Jeff Locke, his last start, a no decision against the Cubs. He was pretty good. 6 innings, 2 runs.
Yeah, in 2 relief appearances and 2 starts. He's only walked 1 batter this year. He's definitely a strike thrower.
Pirates are still very much in it. They're only 2 games back of the Dodgers and the Cardinals for the final wild card spot. Now down to the field, God Bless America, followed by the national anthem.
With God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please remain standing. Performing the national anthem this afternoon is the Fellowship Baptist Church Shiloh Missionary.
Oh, say, can you sing? And bright stars through the perilous fight, all the rebels we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang out, the bombs bursting in air, they grew through the night, then our flag was still there.
Well, some might say it takes a lot, but the Cubs are gonna beat the Bucks today on WGN.
High five, America, because we're giving you great comedy 5 days a week.
5 days a week.
5 days a week.
Why, that deserves
the highest of fives.
So when you think America, think 5.
Come on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's great comedy.
Give me what? 5.
5 days a week.
Freeze frame high five.
All week long, right here on WGN America.
Do not leave a brother hanging. Woo!
Yes, I can. Doubt better leave. I'm running with this plan. Pull me, grab me, traps in the bucket, ain't happy. I'll be the president one day. Oh, you like that gossip? Like you the one drinking what gossip.com. I got a word for your tongue. How many Rolling Stones you want? Yeah, I got a brand new spirit speaking and it's done. Woke up on the side of the bed like I won. Talk like the wind in my chest to that sun. G5 in the US to Taiwan. Now who can say that? I want to play back. I got a feeling it's a rap. It's that.
Welcome to Longhorn Steakhouse. Come in now for our 3-course dinner for 2. Choose 2 of 7 grilled entrees, like our new bacon-crusted sirloin, plus a fresh salad and an appetizer to share. 3 courses for 2, just $29.99. Tonight at Longhorn Steakhouse.
Every driver is different. We've got great news for them all. You can try Snapshot from Progressive before you switch your insurance. Just plug Snapshot into your car and drive like you to see if your good driving could save you up to 30%. So try the way to save that's as unique as you are. Now you can test drive Snapshot before you switch. Visit Progressive.com today.
Hey, will you pass me some of that Lipton?
100% natural Lipton iced tea. It's delicious goodness, just the way nature intended it. When you put goodness inside, you can't help but shine on the outside. Lipton, drink positive.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. The Illinois Lottery. Do you believe in the power of possibility? The Illinois Lottery. Anything's possible. And by Ford, manufacturers of more fuel-efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports.
And time to take a look at today's Mazda Drive to Victory. What the Cubs need to do today is keep in mind V stands for Volstad and victory. He's won 3 of his last 4. Hopefully keep that streak rolling today. Drive to Victory brought to you by your local Chicagoland Mazda dealers. See your Chicagoland Mazda dealer for a test drive today at driveamazda.com.
Cub fans, make sure you check out our WGN Baseball blog at WGNTV.com. It's brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, nationwide agent serving the area for 33 years. You can contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. It's Stats Sunday, and Yahoo Sports baseball columnist Jeff Passan writing about the basics. We show them to you every day when the batters come up. Batting average, home runs, and RBIs. Jeff's a pretty intellectual baseball fan, and it's a nice ode to the old school. And a conversation he had with his dad regarding Scott Rowland. Get into that a little bit more later. Now the Pirates starting lineup, they busted out for 7 runs. They really had struggled in scoring during their 7-game losing streak. Marte had a big game. Neil Walker hitless since returning, as he was banged up with the back injury for a couple of weeks. McCutchen with 2 homers in the series. Jones will clean up. Sanchez at first. Pedro Alvarez over at third. We showed you his numbers against Volstad. Barmas at short. Barajas the catcher. He probably saved the game defensively in the 9th yesterday. And Jeff Locke hitting 9th.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today. Behind Chris Volstad, brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Alfonso Soriano in left, Joe Mather in center, Dave Sapelt over in right field today. Luis Valbuena getting a rare start against a left-handed pitcher. He'll be at third base. Starlin Castro, Darwin Barney make up the double play combo up the middle. Anthony Rizzo at first base today. Wellington Castillo behind the plate for right-hander Chris Volstad. I mentioned his last outing against Houston, he had to work hard in his 5 innings. He gave up 4 base hits, but he also walked 5 Astros hitters, but managed to pitch around that and give up only 1 earned run in his 5 innings of work.
Rob Drake gets the plate. Joe West, the crew chief, at first. Mike Muchlinski at second, and Sam Holbrook over at third. And we're underway. A fastball in there for a strike on Marte.
What's wrong with that kid? Had the wrong jersey on. You notice the rest of the family's kind of trying to ignore him. So psychological issues get started later in life.
Yeah. Popped into center. Joe Mather on the move with the waist high catch. You're going to like today's weather, partner. 79 degrees. More and more like fall, but we do have a summer breeze out of the southwest at just 3 miles an hour, technically blowing out here today.
Oh, Seals and Croft reference. I like it.
Makes me feel fine.
Going through the is it Jasmine or chasms of my mind? I don't want
Jasmine, I think.
Okay. Some of us have huge chasms in our mind.
Switch hitting Neil Walker. And a fly out to Mather, who will make the grab for out number 2.
You mentioned the summer breeze blowing out here this afternoon. Batting practice was quite a spectacle here for both teams. Early Sunday morning BP with the wind blowing out at Wrigley, and guys were putting on a show.
McCutchen with 2 outs. Volstad facing the Pirates for the first time this year. 2-2 lifetime and 4 starts as a Marlin with a high ERA of almost 7.5. Although done a nice job individually against several of these Pirates hitters, including McCutchen, who's 2 for 11. Well, we don't know if the Pirates are going to make the playoffs. We don't know if they're going to finish with a winning record. But it certainly felt like yesterday's game was a season saver, at least for now. They had a 3-run lead in the 9th as McCutchen draws a 2-out walk. They had their closer on, trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. If they blow the lead and lose that game, Bob, it kind of felt like the final nail in the coffin. But they pull it out. The Cardinals lose, and now they're just 2 games right now out of the wild card.
Well, they've had some very fortunate turns of events while they have struggled. Fortunately for them, nobody has really gotten hot and run away and hid in that wild card race, so they're still right there. Now, that was one of those huge swing games yesterday. You gagged that one off with your closer on the mound after the way they've been playing over the last couple of weeks, and that might have been it.
I think you want to feel like your wins are aesthetically as pleasing as possible, but at this point in time of the season, I don't think Clint Hurdle cares how they look. They committed 2 errors yesterday. Closer gave up a couple of runs, but all that matters is the W.
Now, this time of year, you can lose ugly, but there's no such thing as winning ugly. A win is a win is a win. You'll take them however you can get them.
Pitch off the corner, 2-0 on Jones. You can reach us via email, LennonBob@Tribune.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We put the link to Jeff Passan's blog piece on our Twitter page, so check it out. Olstad's pitch low and outside. So after getting 2 quick outs, he's in danger of walking 2 in a row. Seven consecutive pitches out of the strike zone. Borderline, but he got it. 3-1.
Sometimes that can be an issue early in the ball game. In this case, in the first inning of a ball game, it looked like Chris Volstad was really pitching McCutchen carefully. Didn't really care if he walked him. He was not going to make a mistake in the first inning and put his team in a hole right away, but then couldn't immediately get back into the strike zone in this at bat against Garrett Jones.
It's the swing and miss on the slider. Full count. McCutchen takes off on the 3-2, and there's a bouncer, and Darwin Barney throws late. That might be an error. It should be an error. Oh, a base hit. Wow. Well, as much as we'd love to see the streak continue for Darwin Barney, that looks like an error to me.
He made it a little bit tougher play than it had to be by trying to get in front right there. Kind of was caught in between whether to backhand it or take one more step and get in front of the ball. And as I said, kind of got caught in between right there.
Official scorer Alan Spear immediately called it a hit. And as McCutchen steals third. So the streak for now continues.
This could be a case of, we talk about occasionally a veteran hitter getting the benefit of the doubt on a borderline pitch. You've got a superior defender getting the benefit of the doubt from the official scorekeeper on a questionable ground ball.
Well, I think Darwin would say, yeah, that's a play I should make. But again, his job is just to try to pick up that grounder, get the out. His job's not to make the official scoring decision. That's a strike 1 and 2. Gabby Sanchez looked very hitterish on Friday, as he had a double and a single, hit the ball hard a couple of times. I was talking with one of the Cubs players the other day about a particular ground ball that looked to be a hit, was called an error on an opposing second baseman. And I said, usually what happens, even if it takes a tricky hop, if you get in front of the ball and it clangs off your glove, that's usually called an error by an official scorer. It's really hard to tell sometimes just how difficult a play like that can be. Remember the play he made against Ricky Weeks in Milwaukee? Really tricky hop. Ball was hit extremely hard, but it was right at Barney, and if it had kicked off the heel of his glove, it would have been an error, even though that's a more difficult play for him than some others. As Volstad strikes out Sanchez to end the inning. They strand 2, and the Cubs are coming up.
Those little things still get you. For you, life's about her. But your erectile dysfunction, that could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medications and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or if you have any allergic reactions such as rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a 30-tablet free trial.
Now the Cubs Pepsi lineup brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Basically, this is the lineup Dale has gone with against lefties, with one exception. As you look at Mather in the lineup, Wellington Castillo, Dave Chappelle, Luis Valbuena in there at third. Jeff Locke has struggled against lefties, and Dale also talked about Valbuena's glove with the sinker baller Volstad on the mound.
And here's how the Pirates will line it up defensively this afternoon. Starling Marte, Andrew McCutchen, and Garrett Jones left to right across the outfield. Pedro Alvarez and Clint Barmas on the left side of the infield. Neil Walker and Gabby Sanchez on the right side. Rod Barajas, the veteran catcher, once again behind the plate for left-hander Jeff Locke. 2 starts, 2 relief appearances in the major leagues this year for Jeff Locke. I mentioned in his 15 1/3, only 1 base on balls against 13 strikeouts. He's been a strike throwing machine in his 4 appearances.
Ball 1 on Mather. The Cubs are all of a sudden facing a bunch of lefties after a long stretch in which they only saw 1 left-handed starter over a 3-week period. This is the 5th lefty they've faced over their last 6 games and the 8th in their last 15.
And Locke features a fastball that'll approach the low 90s, as a good curve, good straight changeup.
Like the changeup right there. 1-2 to Mather. Locke is from North Conway, New Hampshire. Acquired from Atlanta in June of 2009 in the Nate McLouth deal. That's high. 2-2. Shallow left center. Marte for the out. Here comes Darwin Barney with a career best 10-game hitting streak. I got to mention this right off the top here, Bob, because you're involved. I got a tweet from Jeremy Shermack. Said, Len, my mom, Deb Shermack of St. Joseph, Michigan, is celebrating her 60th birthday at Wrigley Field today. And he mentioned appreciated, and he added she also has a crush on Bob.
Can you blame her? She's only human.
So happy birthday, Deb.
She's had a great day for it here at Wrigley Field.
1-1 on Barney. A couple of bounces. Neil Walker will throw out Barney. Rizzo, 2 outs, nobody on. Two for 5 with an RBI yesterday. At 300 or better, coming in at 294. That batting average has certainly taken a beating over the last 10 years or so, with much more emphasis put on base percentage and slugging. As Jeff Passan points out on the blog today, quote, batting average, home runs, and RBIs are your grandfather's statistics, your father's statistics, your statistics, and your children's statistics. Even though we're in the throes of a statistical revolution, during which a pocket protected taught us why batting average and RBIs are the most overrated numbers in the game and don't deserve mention in the holy trinity of baseball stats, they're so ingrained that replacing them never will happen. And I would agree with that. Just kind of get used to seeing that stat line. And Jeff's piece started with a conversation he and his dad had while watching a baseball game on TV a couple of weeks ago. As Rizzo drills that one out toward the alley, Marte has a glance off his glove as he laid out, but could not make the catch, and Rizzo has a double. Good effort by Marte. That was a rocket.
I watched Anthony Rizzo take his batting practice today, and the last 2 rounds, this is exactly what he was concentrating on, letting the ball get deep into the zone and driving it to the opposite field. This one splitting the gap in left center. As you said, great effort by Marte, making the diving attempt just shy of the warning track in left center, but can't quite get there.
Soriano on the precipice of a couple of big numbers in terms of homers and RBIs. 29 homers, 99 knocked in. And I think, Bob, that the simplicity of, if you hit 300, you're good. If you hit 30 home runs, you're good. If you knock in 100, you're good. That just a quick glance at a guy's stat line. And I think most people just look at that, go, that's been a good year. And you delve into the on-base percentage, could be a lot higher for a guy like Soriano. And sometimes you just look at 30 and 100 and you say that's a good hitter. And I get it.
And rarely will you be wrong. There may be somebody who's better in other statistical areas, and the overall package may be better than a guy that hit 30 and 100, but not too many guys that go 30, 100, 300 are bad players. They're going to help your team win a lot of ball games. They're going to be ranked among the league leaders in those categories, but as we've discovered throughout this season, there are other ways to measure ball players that take into consideration a lot more factors and may be a better way to evaluate a player than just average homers and ribbies.
Barmas can't get it. There's RBI number 100 for Soriano. All this happening after 2 were out. And the Cubs lead 1-0.
Sure looks nice on the back of a baseball card. There's 3 digits after the RBI column. Little topspin grounder up the middle of the field, just out of the range of the diving Clint Barmas.
He could win the National League RBI title. He came in 3 behind Chase Headley of the Padres. It's the 3rd time in his career he's knocked in 100. And he should be able to easily pass his previous career high of 104 with Texas in 2005. First Cubs since, what was it, Derek Lee in 09 to knock in 100. Swing and a miss on a changeup by Castro. Well, RBIs are a function of opportunity. Really means your teammates are getting on before you, and that, you know, you're coming through with runners on base. We've got a homemade megaphone there for Matt Garza. Are those binoculars? Oh, they're binoculars. Okay. Does that really help?
Way too much time on his hands.
All-time RBI leaders: Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Barry Bonds, and Ty Cobb. 4 of the 5 are in the Hall of Fame. Remains to be seen what Barry Bonds' fate is in that regard, but 5 of the best hitters who ever lived. Swing and a miss. Castro strikes out, and the inning is over. But Soriano gets to 100 ribbies for the first time as a Cub, and they lead 1-0.
Disaronno cocktail number 59. Crushed ice, Disaronno. Lemon squeezed. Sugar, Disaronno sour. Disaronno, be original.
Can anyone else make a vacuum like a Dyson vacuum? Well, worldwide, over 230 patents and patents pending protect Dyson technology, including Root Cyclone technology that outperforms all multi-cyclones, self-adjusting cleaner heads, and ball technology that improves maneuverability. So, If you want something that works like a Dyson vacuum, it needs to be a Dyson.
Oh, here's one.
This movie is...
I get married at the end.
Okay, next. What about this?
Turns out he's an alien. The whole thing's one big dream.
Yeah. Wait. How about the one where a group of friends encounter something totally unexpected? Very spicy.
How's it end?
With you driving us to Wendy's.
Wendy's Asiago Ranch Chicken Club is totally unexpected. Our boldly spicy whole filet, applewood smoked bacon, and natural Asiago cheese. Way past ordinary. That's Wendy's way.
Now that's better.
And now get a Frosty for just 99 cents.
Your favorite comedy, sports, and movies, all on WGN America.
We want to let our AT&T Uverse viewers in Chicago and around the country on WGN America know that during every Cubs home game this season, if you go to channel 780 or high def channel 1780, you can see a special multi-view presentation that shows you all of our different live camera angles right here at Wrigley Field. It's pretty cool. So if you want to direct the game along with Skip Ellison, give a look to AT&T Uverse channel 780 or high def channel 1780.
One strike on Pedro Alvarez. I don't know if any of his teammates went up to him and asked him for the key to hitting Volstead or not. 5 for 7 with a home run. Easy chance for Barney this time. Be hard pressed to say anything other than oh my goodness at the year Hack Wilson had when he knocked in 191.
It's like 2 good years, 2 really good years. Man, that tells you he had some teammates hitting in front of him in the lineup that were getting on base a bunch, and he was taking full advantage of it.
A strike on Clint Barmas, who went deep yesterday.
And then talking about batting average, home runs, and RBIs today, the more traditional measures of a player in the history of this game. And all you need to know to tell that batting average is not a complete stat is that we categorize guys as hitting a soft 300. Other guys hit a hard 270. Just meaning you can get your hits. Cueing balls off the end of the bat, 99 hop ground balls that get through an infield, little bloopers that fall just in front of the outfielders, and you can make outs hitting rocket line drives all over the field. So that's why sometimes we'll add that qualifier. He's hitting a hard 270.
The ball was hit hard by Barmas into left for a 1-out single. Don't miss the action as the Cubs host the Cardinals this upcoming Friday afternoon at Wrigley Field. Game time is 1:20, but be sure to arrive early. First 10,000 adults 21 and older get a Cubs t-shirt, compliments of Budweiser. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. It's like a cool shirt. I'd like to get my hands on one of those.
I know somebody. I'll take care of it.
I appreciate it. I guess the other thing for me is when the batting average is high, when you're hitting a lot of home runs, when you're driving a lot of runs in, it's easy to say that guy's a good hitter. I think where it's maybe more instructive to be a little leery of those numbers is when it's the other way around. You know, Adam Dunn, low batting average, very productive hitter. There were a couple of years where Barry Bonds was just, I mean, he had one of the greatest seasons in the history of baseball. Didn't drive in a lot of guys because nobody let him. on the other team. They just send them down to first base. There were a couple of years, I think Paul Molitor had at least one year in which he had under 10 homers but over 100 RBIs. Pretty productive season, even though he didn't hit the ball out of the ballpark that much.
Just to illustrate your point about Barry Bonds, on this day in baseball history in 2002, he walked 3 times, breaking his own record for base on balls in a season. He was up to 178 base on balls at this point of the season.
Deep to left, and it will go. A line shot homer for Rod Barajas. That's his 10th. Came in hitting 197, and he just gave the Pirates the lead. Well, not a ton of offensive value for Barajas. His defense was on display in the 9th yesterday, but he's got some pop.
That's been his calling card throughout his career. Strong arm, solid defensive catcher that will occasionally lean into one, and this time a rocket line drive just inside that foul pole for a 2-run homer.
Gives Locke an early lead.
To finish that thought about Barry Bonds drawing his 178th walk of the season on this date in baseball history back in 2002. 60 of those were intentional.
Locke grounds out, 2 away. Let's take a look at today's Illinois Lottery Anything's Possible players. Sammy Sosa hit his 50th home run on this date 12 years ago. It was his 3rd consecutive season of at least 50. And what a career. 609 home runs. The Anything's Possible player brought to you by the Illinois Lottery, who each day make anything possible. Valbuena in at 3rd, and the 1-0 to Marte is a called strike. Sinker hit on the ground into center. 2-out single. The field is this way. Hello.
And he's off.
Not interested.
It's a lot more fun than watching a ball game. Moon crawling.
Go to first. Marte back in. Hands first. How about the Astros have won 2 of the first 3 against the Phillies. Game 4 today. Dallas Keuchel with a good start last night. Phillies slowed down a little bit after that hot stretch, losing 2 of the last 3. Missed opportunity with the Cardinals losing. Dodgers beat them 4-3. Right now the Braves would be in as a wild card. The Dodgers and St. Louis are tied. The AL wild card teams would be the A's and the Orioles.
Well, the A's trailing the Rangers by only 2 games for the division in the American League West, and I believe they have 7 games head to head the rest of the way, so that could really swing one direction or the other in a hurry.
It's closest the A's have been to first since mid-April. Marte runs, and Castillo couldn't get a handle on the ball. That'll be a steal for Marte. Second stolen base for the Pirates here early on. A team that runs a whole lot.
Marte had been 5 out of 7 before this attempt. Picked a good pitch to run on. Appeared to be a breaking ball down and into Walker, and Castillo, in his haste to try to get the ball into his throwing hand and fire from his knees, just couldn't come up with it.
Pirates are dead last in the National League. It's only their 61st stolen base. Two and two.
A rare treat for the Pirates to get to stay over a Sunday night in Chicago.
Just thinking about that. Yeah, I think the Reds have an off day here tomorrow. Off the plate inside. Don't know if they're staying at the same hotel in Chicago. Every once in a while we have overlapped trips where we go into a town where another visiting team is playing the home team. On top of the second here in a 3-2 inside. Olstad has walked a couple. He's got to face McCutchen.
Yeah, it's not always the fact that you walk a hitter. It's when do you walk him and who is the next hitter. And boy, you hate to put anybody on base ahead of Andrew McCutchen, a legitimate MVP candidate in the National League this year. Cubs have managed to keep him pretty quiet over the last couple of series, but not something you want to make a habit of, putting runners on base ahead of Andrew McCutchen.
Good pitch.
Man, a serious tight zone by Rob Drake behind the plate so far today.
Ripped into left. Marte's going to score. And a quick bat of Andrew McCutchen. He lines it into left for his 88th RBI. 3-1. Well, Chris has done a nice job here lately of avoiding innings like this. This is what we saw a lot early in the year. Just the inability to make a big pitch with runners on base.
Well, after falling behind with what appeared to be strike one, he tries to come back with a slider in the strike zone, and McCutchen was all over it. Fortunate he didn't get some air underneath that ball as hard as he hit it.
Chris Bosio out to talk it over. And while we have a moment, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
When you think mother, think America. WGN America. How I Met Your Mother. Sunday starting at 7:30 East, 4:30 West on WGN America.
3 spot for the Pirates here in the second. 2 on a homer by number 8 hitter Rod Barajas. They get a 2-out run on a McCutchen single. And it's Garrett Jones with runners at first and second. Is the most dangerous of throws for a catcher just because it's the longest out the second.
And very important that the center fielder reads the catcher as he's coming up out of the crouch. You think he's going to throw that ball to second base. Joe Mather's got to come running straight in on a dead sprint to back up that play because Darwin Barney can't get there.
Off the end of the bat, Soriano back now in. And the Pirates done in the second, but a good haul for them. They get 3 and take a 2-run lead.
Wait, that's not enough buildup. And?
'm really excited about where we are right now. We're all trading off each other's culture. So no matter what lines you put, country, indie, rock, rap, we're all somehow gonna find a way to come together. That's it. That's what it's all about. We are finally living out our creed.
Hey, will you pass me some of that Lipton?
100% natural Lipton iced tea. It's delicious goodness, just the way nature intended it. When you put goodness inside, you can't help but shine on the outside. Lipton, drink positive.
Your favorite comedies, sports, and movies, all on WGN America.
Time now to look at our Xfinity catcher profile and protecting catchers around the major leagues. The catcher's mask. That's Ray Schalk on your left right there. There was a time, believe it or not, catchers did not wear a mask. What are you thinking about? Gradually evolved to somewhat of a bird cage, and then the upper right there you see kind of what we now call the old school mask with the throat extension. And then at the bottom, the hockey style mask that is very popular now among younger players. Wish they'd have told me about the mask. Xfinity Home offers state-of-the-art features that help you stay connected to your home and family anytime and anywhere. See, now that's what we would call an old school mask now, because you wear the protective helmet underneath. And the catcher's, or rather the goalie style mask, just kind of combines everything into one convenient unit.
Three to 1, the Pirates have the lead.
Catcher's masks have gotten a lot lighter, even the old school ones like you see Rod Barajas wearing today. If I'm not mistaken, the cage of that mask is made out of titanium, very light but yet very, very strong.
One and two on Castillo. He gets drilled by a fastball. Ouch. Always the catchers, right?
Just another bruise to add to the collection. Cut fastball inside, just continued to run in there, clipped Castillo on the outside of the left thigh. He got big strong legs, should be able to withstand that. Easy for me to say.
Now Sapelt, who's been hot here lately, made the last out of the game on a strikeout against Joel Hanrahan with a tying run at third, go ahead and winning run at second. And he gets a hold of one out in the left. Marte on the warning track is going to have room.
Well, it looked good off the bat with a little bit of wind blowing out here. Wrigley today thought that one might have a chance to sneak up into the basket down the left field line, but Marte with just enough room in the middle of the warning track to make the play. Yeah, Dave Chappelle does not get cheated, especially on pitches up in the zone. He gets his rips. Just a little short that time.
Now Luis Valbuena, one of two lefties in the lineup. Jeff Locke hasn't been in the big leagues that long, but his numbers would tell you to definitely get some lefties in there. They have fared better than righties.
As a general rule, when you see those kind of splits, it tells you that this particular left-handed pitcher's changeup is better than his breaking ball. More likely to use the fastball curveball combination against left-handed hitters, more likely to use the fastball changeup combo to the right-handed hitters, and as we mentioned at the top of the show, he's got a real good straight changeup.
It was a good play by Castillo to wait. Barajas, a nice block in the ninth yesterday, and then the fastball that was almost over the head of Dave Chappelle. If Barajas doesn't catch that, the Cubs tie the game. Two and one.
Those are pretty drastic splits too. Generally you see almost exactly the opposite against the left-handed pitcher. Lefties normally struggle against lefties, but not the case with Locke.
24-year-old lefty coming back, missed the outside corner. Valbuena in a 3-1 count with a pitcher on deck. Locke made his debut last year in September. This is just his 7th major league start without a win, 0-4. He anchored an Indianapolis stat that led the International League in ERA. 24 starts at AAA this season, a 2.48 ERA. Dave McKay didn't have to move at all. Now, who's been nice to me? Young Neil Walker fan ends up with that souvenir.
We're gonna have to get more specific with Dave. Give it to a kid, but give it to a Cub kid. Somebody really into the spirit of things.
Arr. Foul tip, strike 3. Now Volstad with 2 outs. You mentioned and on this date we also had the Sammy Sosa 50th homer on this date 12 years ago. Today's also the 37th anniversary of the Pirates' largest margin of victory ever. Were you here? 1975, September 16th, when Rennie Stennett went 7 for 7, and the Pirates beat the Cubs 22-0. Pirates had 23 hits. The Cubs had 3 in that game. Volstad with a single into center. Castillo will stop at second. 2 on, 2 down for Mather.
Chris Volstad picking on a breaking pitch, 78-mile-per-hour curveball out over the plate, finds that hole back up the middle of the field. Really important here that Wellington Castillo works for a maximum secondary lead out there at second base with 2 outs in the inning. Pretty good arms in left and center for the Pirates. We've seen Marte. He's got a cannon out there in left field. McCutchen very, very good in center field. Garrett Jones can spray it around a little bit from right, but especially on a ball hit to center or left, you're going to have to get on your horse to score from second base.
Slowly hit roller. Barnes will get Mather to end the inning. Cubs strand 2. After 2, it's 3-1 Pirates.
Don't drink that. I saw some guy slip something in there.
What? Who?
That guy.
How I Met Your Mother, tonight at 7:30 East.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl is back. Endless combinations of pasta and sauce for just $9.95. Plus all the unlimited crisp salad or homemade soup and warm breadsticks you want. The pasta never ends, but the offer does. Only at Olive Garden.
Anything you want, you'll find it. Oh, oh, oh. Any time of day or night, it's oh, 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 oh. You're the one, I can't deny it. Oh, oh, oh. I love you so. I love you so. Oh, is the one. Oh, 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 is the one. Oh, 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 is the one. Oh, oh, oh.
So it's between this or the Honda Civic next door.
Okay, done. This one.
They say the Civic is the best-selling car in its class.
It's possible.
It also has this cool econ button that helps maximize fuel efficiency.
Oh yeah, this car has a lot of buttons. Get a defrost button, radio button, cruise control button, window button, wiper button, trunk button, super button, buttons inside of buttons, buttons controlling other buttons.
We're just interested in the econ button.
That's one button. This is a car with many buttons.
The Civic from Honda. 39 mpg highway and a way to help you make the most of it. Only a Honda is a Honda.
Hey, will you pass me some of that Lipton?
100% natural Lipton iced tea. It's delicious goodness, just the way nature intended it. When you put goodness inside, you can't help but shine on the outside. Lipton, drink positive.
The 2012 Chicago Cubs baseball season on WGN TV is brought to you by Bud Light Lime-A-Rita, the ready-to-drink margarita with a refreshing twist of Bud Light Lime.
3-1, the Pirates have the lead as they'll bat in the 3rd inning. Game 4 tomorrow night. Then the Reds and Cardinals come in for 3-game series. A couple more on this date notes for you. 2004, Ramos Ramirez of the Cubs with a 3-homer game against Cincinnati. got to mention this one, Bob. 3 years ago on this date, Ernie Harwell gave a very touching farewell speech between innings at Comerica Park. Game between the Royals and the Tigers after being diagnosed with incurable bile duct cancer. Ernie passed away on May 4th of the following year. The all-time greats. Abby Sanchez. Ball one.
And one more of this day in baseball history with a Cubs connection. He wasn't a Cub at the time, but he is now. Alfonso Soriano stole a base against the Brewers in the first inning to give him 40 steals on the season to go along with his 40 homers. Only the 4th player in baseball history to go 40-40 in a single season. He joined Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, and Alex Rodriguez as the only player to go 40-40. Now that's a good year statistically. That takes to be strong enough to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but yet quick enough and fast enough to be able to steal 40 bases. Rare group.
Well, that 06 season was the year for Alfonso, no doubt. And he turned that into an 8-year contract with the Cubs. Considering his age, not too many guys who've had years like his. When he hits number 30, it will become the 5th Cub age 36 or older to hit 30 and drive in 100. Hank Sauer did it at 37. Andre Dawson at age 36. Fred McGriff at 38. Moises Alou at 37. Alvarez to Barney. Stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Captain Morgan. Raise your glass, always in moderation. To life, love, and loot. One of the best closers of all time, Lee Smith, will conduct the stretch. Cubs all-time leader with 180 saves, Lee Smith.
Well, it was a sight that Cub fans grew to love and visiting teams really grew to hate. When Big Lee Arthur would make his way out of the Cubs dugout on the third base side of the field in the 8th inning and slowly walk down to the bullpen. Yeah, get there when the time is right. He's always on his own schedule, but man, things picked up speed when he got out there on the mound.
Son Clint Barmas heating up. We mentioned the homer yesterday, 2 for 2 today. Was Lee a guy who took a nap?
Yeah, I believe
nap
he
in a
did.
shower before in the clubhouse during the game before he'd head out to the bullpen. I know that's your pregame routine here with us. Time now to look at our AT&T UVerse replay. That's a game saver yesterday. We mentioned it at the time. How difficult a play is that for a catcher? I mean, you know it's a fastball, but you're not expecting it to be almost over the head of the hitter. And remember, Hanrahan's a guy who throws 97 miles an hour in the 9th inning yesterday.
That's not easy, especially when you get a batter involved. You could clearly see Dave Chappelle ducking underneath of that fastball, and at one point you lose sight of the pitch. I mean, you're tracking it right out of the pitcher's hand, but at some point when that batter gets involved, you lose sight of it ever so slightly. But Barajas had his glove in the right spot, was able to go from giving that low target for the fastball to catching that high wild one, keep it from going to the bricks. Could have possibly saved the game for the Pirates yesterday.
See what's possible with AT&T UVerse high-speed internet. AT&T, rethink possible.
Well, that play makes my left shoulder hurt. I think every catcher from receiving pitches just like that one, that puts your left shoulder in such a vulnerable position. I think every catcher has some damage in their left shoulder. Not so much their throwing side, but that receiving side, when you have to track down those wild ones like that, does not feel good.
We'll see if Barajas has the green light. The pitcher's on deck. Barajas homered in the second inning. Like he was geared up but did not get the pitch that he wanted as he takes Wallstedt's third walk. It's safe to say how a batter takes a pitch on 3-0 would lead you to make that conclusion. It looked like he wasn't going to give up on that pitch.
Yeah, some guys will immediately come out of their batting stance and just kind of stand straight up and watch the pitch go by, but Barajas was ready to hit.
Wallstedt throws out Locke. They strand 2 for the third straight inning, but they lead 3-1.
Looks like there's an opening for shipping coordinator, and I've got to pick someone. Tough decision.
Okay, you could be a rising star, but you just ordered a crispy McChicken and a fresh brewed sweet tea for only $1 each off McDonald's dollar menu. So you're smart, right? Nah, I got nothing.
Smart man. 2 7s.
Oh!
Wow. The fox strikes again.
The fox strikes again. He's always strikes. The simple joy of being smart.
Disaronno cocktail number 38. Ice. Disaronno. Fresh orange juice. Disaronno orange. Disaronno. Be original.
If it wasn't for a little thing called the computer, we might still be making mixtapes. Find this, pause this, play this, eject this, write this. It's like the days before Esurance Express Lane. You had to find a bunch of documents just to get a car insurance quote. Now, Express Lane finds your driving info with just one click. Saving time. To be nostalgic about the days before Express Lane. Thank you, insurance for the modern world. Esurance, now backed by Allstate. Click or call.
At Domino's, we're obsessed with delivering you great pizza. So we want to invent the ultimate pizza delivery vehicle. Let's see what ideas our drivers have.
A mini fridge and an oven back there, that'd be perfect.
A gyroscopic pizza holder to keep the pizzas level.
A flying car with a jet engine.
Traffic mapping would be good.
That would sure get pizzas there fast.
It doesn't have to even be a car.
Like a tank.
Could be a tank. That would be awesome.
We'll stop at nothing to deliver you the best pizza possible. Like these 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each.
Your favorite comedies, sports, and movies, all on WGN America.
Hey, Chicagoland viewers, if you want to wear what the Cubs are wearing, then text SPEED to 88019 right now for your chance to win an authentic game-worn jersey from the Cubs. And be sure to go to Cubs.com/authentics for more authentic Cubs memorabilia.
Pirates have won 7 of their last 8 series here at Wrigley Field. They've split the first 2 with the Cubs in this series, leading 3-1 today with Game 4 to follow tomorrow night. They're trying to win on consecutive days on the road for the first time since July 31st and August 1st here at Wrigley Field. Barney, Rizzo, and Soriano.
Hey, Lynn, guess where Pedro Alvarez is playing?
Even with the bag.
Even with the bag,
Yep.
taking away the bunt. Never ceases to amaze me. You just assume because a guy is not real tall, he plays a middle infield position, he must be fast and he must bunt. Now retreating into a more normal defensive position.
3-0 on Barney. Locke hasn't walked a hitter through 2, but he did hit Castillo to start the second. And there's a strike. Clint Hurdle announced before the game that James McDonald will be replaced in the Pirates rotation by right-hander Kyle McPherson. He'll start Wednesday versus Milwaukee, and McDonald will be available in the bullpen starting Tuesday. McDonald was fantastic in the first half, has really struggled in the second. Still 3-2 on Barney.
Well, it's a move that's not nearly as risky at this time of year because you have such a complement of pitchers available. Even if McPherson goes into the rotation and you have to shorten him up for a start or 2, you got plenty of reinforcements available out of the pen.
Ball 4, a leadoff walk. Comes Rizzo, who doubled and scored in the opening inning.
Number 30 on the season for Darwin Barney. There was a time I didn't know if he was going to get to 30 this season. Always has been very much a free swinger, but takes a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Bounce to first, fair ball. Throw goes to second, and Rizzo didn't run. He only got about 5 feet out of the box. That's a double play. Yeah, Barney stayed at second. He thought Sanchez had stepped on first, but he did not. I think Anthony thought it was foul. A little slip out of the box. Well, my first thought was Sanchez made a mistake by not stepping on first, but it turned out to be the right play.
That's where it helps to know that position. The ball got to him quickly. He knew he had time if he made a good throw to second base to get right back on the bag and take the return throw. Maybe on a slowly hit ball you step on the bag at first and try to get Barney caught up in a run down, but that ball was hit pretty hard. Sanchez knew he had time to turn the 3-6-3. Got the 100th RBI in his first at bat of the ball game. Might as well go ahead and get the 30th homer out of the way too.
Two and one. Diving catch by Pedro Alvarez, and that'll end the inning. Ball hit hard by Soriano, but for an out. 3-1 Pirates.
So what happens if I'm in an accident and need to get my car fixed?
Progressive makes it easy because we give you choices. You can pick where to get your car fixed. We can cut you a check. Or at our service center, we take care of everything for you.
Oh, so many choices.
Take your time.
The service center.
Okay.
Giving you choices. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Can anyone else make a vacuum like a Dyson vacuum? Well, worldwide, over 230 patents and patents pending protect Dyson technology, including Root Cyclone technology that outperforms all multi-cyclones, self-adjusting cleaner heads, and ball technology that improves maneuverability. So, if you want something that works like a Dyson vacuum, it needs to be a Dyson.
If you use catheters, I have some great news. You will never have to reuse catheters again. Medicare and most private insurance now cover up to $200 a month. That means you can use a new sterile catheter every time you cath. And these new catheters, they're softer, they're more gentle, and they're much easier to use. So call Comfort Medical today. They make it simple. They bill Medicare and private insurance directly. There are no upfront costs, and they deliver your supplies right to your door for free.
Call 1-800-853-9093 now, and Comfort Medical will send you free samples of these new gentle catheters. And if you call 1-800-853-9093 today, Comfort Medical will also send you a free comfort kit. Call 1-800-853-9093 now. Operators are standing by.
Call Comfort Medical today. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, Cubs fans, if you want to manage a game along with Dale Swaim, log on to WGNTV.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, place sets, hot tubs, and more.
(3-1) Pittsburgh. (1-1) to Marte, hanging slider, but he wasn't looking for that pitch in that spot. 1-2. That was a bad slider, but 1-2. He's trying to protect, and he swung at a pitch in the dirt for strike 3. Let's take a look at our upcoming Cubs schedule. This is it. Season ends on October 3rd. One road trip at Colorado and Arizona, and the Cubs still winless on the road against the National League West. Hopefully that'll change next week. Ford, manufacturers of more fuel-efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. Neil Walker with his first hit in a while. First hit of the month. Snaps an 0 for 16. Yesterday his first start since August 26th. Dealing with low back tightness, and the Pirates seemed to miss him. They went 4-12 in the 16 games in which he did not start. Just going back to that Marte at bat. He gets a slider up in the zone right in the middle of the plate on a 1-1 pitch that he looks at, and he swings at one in the dirt because there were 2 strikes on him. Count makes a whole lot of difference.
Sure does.
There's a reason pitching coaches throughout the history of this game and until the end of time will promote the idea of getting ahead in the count.
Which is why so many hitters are willing to go to the plate and swing at the first pitch, because pitching coaches have told their pitchers, get ahead in the count. Well, if you're going to throw me strike one, I'm going to be ready to hit it. I always found it kind of interesting, Landon. You could argue this back and forth forever. Should you swing at a first pitch? Should you take pitches? Cubs are trying to get to a point where they're a little more patient in their at-bats, try to work some deeper counts. Nobody ever complains about a guy first pitch swinging when he hits a rocket somewhere and gets on base. Only when you make an out, then it's a bad idea.
I think the best kind of line I've heard in that regard is James Rowson, the Cubs' new hitting coach. who has espoused, especially to his shortstop, Starlin Castro, attack the zone, not the ball. And as Dale would put it, he wants his guys to be aggressive passive, not passive aggressive. We're not talking about their personalities, but about what they do at the plate. Walker on his way to third. They've got a shot at him. He is out. What a throw by Castro. Nick Leiva's going to argue here, but Neil Walker kind of took it for granted that he would make it all the way to third, and Castro's throw allowed Valbuena just to catch it and tag him all in one motion.
That throw was right where it had to be to get the out at third base. Yeah, Walker very tentative going around second, as you see Sapelt with a strong throw back into Castro, who got rid of it quickly.
He's out.
Yeah, catch and tag. It appeared he got him on the shoulder before the hand got on the base. Yep, he's out. Well, I can't tell you what a great relay that was by Starlin Castro. Many times that cutoff man will waste time. Starlin gets his feet in position so that as soon as he receives the ball, he's ready to throw to third base, put it right on the money. Can't do it any better than that.
Well, with Clint Hurdle talking with the third base umpire, I think after looking at the replay, he may talk to his second baseman about what we've discussed so often, and that is looking over your shoulder while you're rounding second.
Such a horrible habit, and we've seen it repeatedly with several of the Cubs and a lot of the visiting players and opposing players all season long. It's just I don't know where it started, how it has developed, but it's a disease in the game right now. Base runners looking back over their shoulder into the outfield.
Instead of first and third, 1 out, runner at first, 2 outs.
Spelled had to go quite a ways to his right to get to that ball. Right there, Walker's not sure. He's not sure. Looked over his shoulder. Didn't exactly accelerate into that slide at third base, and the Cubs with a perfect relay gunned him down.
McCutchen fake towards second as Jones fouls it off.
But for a team that doesn't steal a lot of bases with an 0-2 count, a pitch out wouldn't be the worst thing that could happen right here for the Cubs. Even if McCutchen's not running, it sends a message to Clint Hurdle that we will pitch out in obvious running situations, so you better pick your spots carefully. Instead, another pick over to first. McCutchen back easily.
There he goes, and I think Jones struck out. Oh, he didn't. They appealed down to third, and Sam Holbrook said he didn't swing at that pitch in the dirt. So McCutchen will get a steal, his second of the game.
Well, we'll get a side look at the swing.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think he did too. But with the throw to second base, the play at second base, you don't appeal down to the third base umpire until well after the pitch was over. Not quite so sure Sam Holbrook remembers what happened on that check swing. The whistle down to get his attention for the appeal, and he immediately flashed the safe sign.
Line to left, right at Soriano for the final out. 2 hits, 1 left, still 3-1 Pirates.
Through all the lines and things that are put in place to divide us, all like-minded people gather together. We're more curious than ever. We create music to express ourselves. And when the world relates, that's a beautiful thing. That's it. That's what it's all about. We are finally living out our creed.
Why do we have Aflac?
Aflac?
And Major Medical?
Major Medical, boy, yeah! I help pay the doctor. Ain't that enough for you?
There are things Major Medical doesn't do.
Aflac
Pays cash so we don't have to fret.
Something families should get. Like a safety net.
Help with food, gas, and rent, so cover your back with...
Help protect your family at Aflac.com.
At Domino's, we're obsessed with delivering you great pizza. So we want to invent the ultimate pizza delivery vehicle. Let's see what ideas our drivers have.
A mini fridge and an oven back there, that'd be perfect.
A gyroscopic pizza holder to keep the pizzas level.
A flying car with a jet engine.
Traffic mapping would be good.
That would sure get pizzas there fast.
It doesn't have to even be a car, like a tank. It could be a tank. That would be awesome.
We'll stop at nothing to deliver you the best pizza possible. Like these 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how'd you like to have dinner with the Cubs' Matt Garza? Just go to any Chicagoland Walgreens and look for the keyword at the Pepsi Max display. Then mail in the keyword to WGN and you could be having dinner with Matt Garza from Pepsi Max, Walgreens, and WGN.
Pirates leading 3-1. Castro will lead off for the Cubs here in the 4th inning. First pitch swinging. Jones playing deep out there and right. Easy play for the out. Tickets are available for the remainder of the 2012 Cubs season, including the rest of this homestand. Reds come in Tuesday, the Cardinals on Friday here at Wrigley Field. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Going back to the first pitch, you take pitches, whatever. Nobody's going to complain about a first pitch hit. But when you are the leadoff man in an inning and you make an out on one pitch, it does, I think, put a little extra pressure on the guys behind you to work the count just a little bit. You never want to see a pitcher have a 4-pitch 1-2-3 inning.
Yeah, especially the number 2 hitter, in this case Wellington Castillo. He did take the first pitch for a called strike and then fouls off the second delivery. But if Welly goes up there and makes out on the first pitch, now it's incumbent upon Dave Chappelle to probably take until he gets 2 strikes in his at bat. And needless to say, no hitter wants to be put in that situation. Now with runners in scoring position, all bets are off. If that first pitch is in a zone where you think you can drive in that runner in scoring position, then absolutely go after that first pitch, even if the guy ahead of you is made out on one pitch. With runners in scoring position, all the rules change. Those unwritten rules.
Locke's 0-2. Armas bobbles and Castillo safe. And that's an error on Barmas. Okay, well.
Yeah, just like the Darwin Barney play, I'm sure Barmas will tell you he should have made that play. Just hit him in the thumb of the glove and ricocheted off.
My issue's not that it was an error, but whatever.
It's called home cooking. I mean, there's been that argument forever. Players, when they go on the road, they expect to have calls go against them in favor of the home team. I don't know if there will ever be any way to statistically confirm or deny that, but you always feel like you get hosed by the scorekeeper on the road, so you need to get the ones that are questionable at home to make up for it. I got a topper for you, partner. Playing in Albuquerque, New Mexico in the Pacific Coast League back in 1980. Albuquerque, the Dodgers farm club at the time, they just had a dynamite pitching staff there. Their team ERA was just ridiculous, especially for the Pacific Coast League, a notorious hitters league. And one of the players on our team hit a ground ball down the third baseline. Third baseman playing at normal depth. The ball hit the base and went over his head into shallow left field, and they hung an error on the third baseman.
What?
He never touched the ball. But the home scorekeeper at that time was bound, determined to keep the Albuquerque Dukes team ERA down so they could win the Pacific Coast League ERA title. Third baseman got an error when the ball hit the base.
That's just wrong.
That's just wrong.
Two-0 to Sapelt, rather, and he skies one foul. Right field side out of play. Reds trying to avoid a sweep at Miami, leading 4-3 as they go to the 8th. Roy Halladay on the mound for the Phillies. They're trying to earn a 2-2 split in Houston. 4-2 Philadelphia in the bottom of the 6th. Former Cub Scott Morris hit his 8th home run. Milwaukee leading again 3-0 midway in the 7th over the Mets. Ryan Braun's hit 2 today. He has 40 on the year. Aramis Ramirez with number 24. Popped up by Sapelt. Sanchez makes a grab. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
WGN America is, wait for it, the home of the superfan. Join the How I Met Your Mother conversation now at facebook.com/meetitmclarens.
For Ryan Braun, homers number 200 and 201 in his major league career. .339 for Aramis. You know who I think might be the NL MVP, but I just don't know if people will vote for him. Ryan Braun leads the league in OPS. Mentioned 2 homers. He now has 40 on the year. Suppose it's possible that UPS may be a bigger factor than OPS, right?
You're right, yeah. And that gets back to the old argument about is the most valuable player in the league just almost like a man on an island. Just regardless of what team he's on, the numbers he's amassed say he's the most valuable player.
Brewers are still in the race. Andrew McCutchen, one of those MVP candidates. Pirates trying to grab a wild card as well. 3-1 they lead.
Hey, will you pass me some of that Lipton?
100% natural Lipton iced tea. It's delicious goodness just the way nature intended it. When you put goodness inside, you can't help but shine on the outside. Lipton, drink positive.
Welcome to Longhorn Steakhouse. Come in now for our 3-course dinner for 2. Choose 2 of 7 grilled entrees, like our new bacon-crusted sirloin, plus a fresh salad and an appetizer to share. 3 courses for 2, just $29.99. Tonight at Longhorn Steakhouse.
Agents, say hello to the biggest hailstone in U.S. history.
Oh, that'll leave a dent. Which is exactly why we educate people about comprehensive coverage.
Yep, the right choice now can pay off later.
Looks like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
No!
Agents, say hello to the second biggest hailstone in U.S. history.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Let's say you need to take care of legal matters. Wouldn't it be nice if there was an easier, less expensive option than using a traditional lawyer? Well, LegalZoom came up with a better way. We took the best of the old and combined it with modern technology. Together you get quality services on your terms with total customer support. LegalZoom documents have been accepted in all 50 states, and they're backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So go to LegalZoom.com today and see for yourself. It's law that just makes sense.
That's the team, the Planters Men's Health Mix Team. They're the best of the best, of the boldest, of the baddest bunch of nuts around. Men's Health Recommended Mix. It's the manliest mix we've ever assembled.
We have been assigned a new house mom. I'd like you to meet Mrs. Stinspire.
Hello, girls!
How I Met Your Mother. Tonight at 7:30 East, 4:30 West.
The 5th inning is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, the Curious Bank. Member FDIC. Got a great weekend weather-wise. Start this 10-game homestand. Chris Volstad back to work. 3 runs second for the Pirates. And they have that 3-1 lead. Well, as we continue on with Stats Sunday, kind of the ultimate for an offensive player in a particular year is the Triple Crown. You lead the league in average, homers, and RBIs. You see the last American League hitter to do it, Carl Yastrzemski. Just a ton of Hall of Famers on that list. I think they all are. You look at the National League, and it's been since 1937. Joe Medwick led the league in all 3 categories.
Seems kind of odd for something that's so unusual and happens so infrequently in the American League. It happened back-to-back years with Frank Robinson and Carl Yastrzemski in '66 and '67, and back-to-back years back in the 30s.
Now, currently in the American League, Josh Hamilton leading the league in homers and RBIs. Not in the top 10 in batting average. Miguel Cabrera second in RBIs, 5th in homers, 2nd in average. Let's see, National League. Ryan Braun, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th in average, 1st in homers, and went into today 2nd in RBIs. There's Alberto Cabrera. We saw him work 2 innings yesterday, gave up a run.
What would be the Triple Crown of futility? strikeouts, grounding into double plays, and runners left on base or something like that.
It's a good one. Well, batting average and strikeouts would make sense. Lowest batting average, most strikeouts. Yeah, double plays. I like it. Leadoff single for Gabby Sanchez.
Hey fans, next Sunday, September 23rd is Kerry Wood Day, presented by Advocate Healthcare. Watch the Cubs battle the Cards at 1:20 and help celebrate one of Cub fans' favorite players. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Kerry Wood commemorative photo montage, compliments of Advocate Healthcare. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Now the pitching equivalent of the offensive Triple Crown: wins, ERA, and strikeouts. And guess what? Last year, Justin Verlander led the American League. He had the Triple Crown, the pitcher's Triple Crown. Clayton Kershaw won it in the National League. So you had two pitchers do it last year.
Timeout. Ball in the field. Cabrera warming up down the left field line. One got loose and rolled all the way over to the left side of the infield.
Speaking of Clayton Kershaw, he was scratched from his start against the Cardinals today with a hip injury. It's not good news for the Dodgers. Alvarez powders one to deep left, and that baby's going to go almost onto Waveland. Opposite field for Alvarez is 28. That ball was hit a long way to the opposite field.
Well, you rarely see no doubters the opposite way, but that was a no doubter. Take a look at our Nissan drive of the game. Fastball up and out over the plate, maybe out of the strike zone away from Alvarez, which allows him to get full extension, and absolutely murdered that ball out onto Waveland Avenue. Get to your Nissan dealer for special offers. Nissan, innovation that excites. Visit ChooseNissan.com.
Well, we mentioned Alvarez 5 for 7 against Volstad going in. Now 6 for 10 with 2 homers. His 28th of the year. Came in tied with Chase Headley for the National League lead in homers by a third baseman. You're not going to do it?
Headley.
Thank you.
You can't have too much more fun with Chase Headley. He is earning some respect this year. Man, he is getting after it. Having himself a really nice season.
Pirates with a National League leading 96 homers on the road. Swung on and missed. Like Barmas.
Headley's in a heated battle with Ryan Braun for the National League RBI title. Had a 1-run driven in lead going into play today, but you mentioned Ryan Braun.
2 homers.
2 homers today.
He's got RBI wise. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And 2 RBIs for Braun. Soriano now with 100. A good battle. Well, if the season ended today, the suspended Melky Cabrera would win the batting title in the National League at 346.
I don't think there's any way Major League Baseball can allow that to happen. I think once a player's on the suspended list, you're suspended from everything, including any postseason awards based on what you did up until the suspension.
I guess the only issue I would have with that is winning the batting title in award. I mean, it's just a stat, and he has enough at bats to qualify. That's a tricky one. I can understand, you wouldn't give him an MVP award or something, but I don't know if you start erasing numbers and things like that. It's really, really difficult.
Tainted. It's tainted.
Now, what if the Braun test had not been overturned? Won the MVP last year. Throw it out.
Well, obviously there has to be some kind of a precedent set. Major League Baseball is going to have to come up with some kind of rules regarding that, unfortunately. I mean, to this day, Mike Greenwell from the Boston Red Sox feels like he got cheated out of an American League MVP award by Jose Canseco.
Right.
Canseco admittedly using performance enhancing drugs during that season.
Barajas on for the third time. Frank Thomas. Giambi won the MVP, right?
Yep.
Locke bunts foul. You got to be a little proud of me, partner. I mean, this is the second consecutive Sunday during which we've watched Jeff Locke pitch, and not once have I asked you about the keys to beating him.
And I thank you for that.
Well, I know you've been waiting for it, but I'm not going to do it.
I told you what I thought with Jason Birkin yesterday. I thought sure we were going to hear something about Birkenstock at some point, but I had to bring it up.
Yes. Ballstead will, in fact, fire to first, so that worked out like a bunt. And though he will not get a sacrifice.
It reaches a point where in an obvious sacrifice situation it's going to be nearly impossible to get that bunt down and move the runner to second base, especially a slow runner like Rod Barajas. So that time Locke pulled the bat back, just tapped it into play on the left side.
Alberto Cabrera in for Volstead. 5-1 Pittsburgh.
Multi-policy discount. Paperless discount. Paid in full discount. Homeowners discount. Safe driver discount. Chipmunk family reunion. Someone stole the nuts. Squirrel jail. Justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Let's see if we can get one past the defense.
Hut, go! Here it comes. Where are the numbers? Boom! Get it, spin! Oh, nice hands!
Jeff,
oh, good job, man.
Nice. Okay, halftime. Now this is my favorite play. Oh, I'm wide open. Oh, fumble. Don't want to fumble any of these.
Share what you love with who you love. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Is up. And it's good.
Good. They're great.
To really get to know someone, you have to ask the right questions. Not the do you like sushi too kinds of questions, but the kind that eHarmony asks that get at who you are and who'd be a good fit for you deep down. That way, you get better matches, so you could meet someone who is really right for you. Just ask Danny and Katie. See who you might click with on eHarmony. Start now with our free iPad app.
Hey, baseball fans, make sure and stay with us during the 6th inning today. If a north side player hits a grand slam during the 6th inning, Ron Jeka of Chicago will win a Mazda CX-5. Go to WGNTV.com/contest to enter for a chance to win a Mazda CX-5 in various games on WGN TV. Must be 18 to enter. Brought to you by your local Chicagoland area Mazda dealers.
Swing and a miss. Starling Marte. Alberto Cabrera. We'll just get the try to get at least the final out of this inning, and then Dale will use a pinch hitter in the bottom of the inning. We mentioned 2 innings yesterday from the young right-hander. Slider in the dirt. Now, it took a couple of days, but Bobby Valentine trying to clarify his interesting comments about the Red Sox September roster being the weakest they've had in the history of baseball, something to that effect. Well, said it wasn't meant to be a criticism of any players or anything in the organization. It's a statement of fact because of the injuries in our AAA team in the playoffs. This is different. We have less people than most September rosters, less positions filled than any September roster I've ever seen. Anybody who thought that to be anything other than a statement of what it was, stand corrected on that.
But that's not what you said.
Base hit for Marte. Barajas is going to score, and it's 6-1. Yeah, that's a tough one to get out of. Say this is the weakest roster we've ever had in September in the history of baseball. Kind of tough to backtrack.
Middle of the plate sinker that time to Marte, showing a quick bat, driving it past Luis Valbuena into left field, and Rod Barajas lumbers home with the 6th run of the game for the Pirates.
Red Sox were shut out today by the Blue Jays 5-0. Blue Jays avoid the sweep. Young Boog Powell.
Child looks mildly suspicious for some reason.
Strike on Neil Walker.
Be careful on that first pitch sinker. Jeez. Surprised in the least to see Marte on the move over there at first base, even for a team that does not run much. When you get a 5-run lead in a ball game in the middle portion of the game, that's when you really push your pedal to the floor, maybe do some things that you wouldn't normally do because you have a little bit of a cushion to work with.
Marte goes. Throw by Castillo, gets into center. Be a steal and an error. So the Pirates with 4 steals. That error charged to Castillo.
tough one there. Possibly with a pick of that short hop throw, you make it a close play at second base. There's a real fine line as a middle infielder. When do you concede the stolen base and step up and block that low throw to make sure it doesn't get through? And when do you stay back on the bag and try to pick it and tag? And that time Castro could do neither one.
One and two. Cabrera's only thrown one fastball in the entire inning. As he gets Walker on a slider. Sorry, something I ate as a small child came back to get me there. 3 runs for the Pirates at 6-1.
Here it is, a groove slightly transformed. Just a bit of a break from the norm.
Welcome to summer with Bud Light Lime. It's everything you love about Bud Light, with a twist of 100% natural lime flavor for ultimate refreshment. Bud Light Lime. Summer is calling.
Move the soothes and moves romance. To hit you wet, to get you quick for the summertime.
You know, Ronnie, folks who save hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico sure are happy.
And how happy are they, Jimmy?
I'd say happier than a bodybuilder directing traffic.
He does look happy.
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Let's put Marcus Samuelson next to Martha Stewart.
Interesting.
Coriander, really?
Excuse me.
I got 3 James Beard Awards here, 18 Emmys.
I have 5 restaurants.
I have 2.5 million Twitter followers, and I'm tweeting them, don't use too much coriander in your meatballs.
So plan B.
Only one star brings all these stars together. That's the magic of Macy's.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl is back. Endless combinations of pasta and sauce for just $9.95. Plus never-ending sausage and meatballs for just $2.95 more. The pasta never ends, but the offer does. Only at Olive Garden.
Your favorite comedies, sports, and movies, all on WGN America.
Today's game is brought to you by Budweiser. This year, Budweiser will donate $5,000 for every Cubs walk-off win to Folds of Honor. Find them at facebook.com/Budweiser to see how you can help support our nation's soldiers and veterans. Petty Officer Bradley Atkinson proposing to his girlfriend today. He serves aboard the USS Reuben James in Pearl Harbor. And it looks like she said yes.
All right.
Congratulations. Josh Vitters hitting in the pitcher's spot. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tap foul, picked up by third base coach Pat Listash. Chopper Locke can't get it. Barehanded play by Alvarez. Nicely done.
Pretty nice play by Pedro Alvarez. The pitcher got in the way a little bit there coming off the mound to his right, but Alvarez stays focused on the ball. Nice barehanded play and throw all in one motion.
So Vitters was the 3rd overall pick in his draft. Alvarez the number 2 pick. Vitters in 07, Alvarez in 08. Locke to Mather. Golfed high in the air, well hit out into deep left center. Gone, a home run. 6-2 on Mather's 4th of the year, 5th of the year. First homer today for the Cubs.
A good way to describe it. Golfed out of here. Looked like a fastball down on the inside part of the plate, maybe as far in as the corner. Just drops the bat head on it. A lot of backspin toward left center field. Good to see for Joe Mather.
First homer since June 25th when he went deep against Johan Santana. '14th of his career. Darwin Barney with a base hit. 11-game hitting streak.
The 5th inning is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, the Curious Bank, member FDIC.
Young Cub fan out in the bleachers with a Joe Mather home run ball. Knows how to wear those shades. Back-to-back one-out hits. We'll see some action in the Pirate bullpen. Locke needs to get 2 more outs to qualify for his first big league win.
Rod Barajas out to the mound to stall for a little bit of time. Now Ray Searage, the pitching coach, will take a long, slow walk to the mound, giving that righty in the Pirates bullpen, Chris Rizzo, an opportunity to get it cranked up, possibly to get ready for Alfonso Soriano in the on-deck circle.
Cubs trailed 6-1 yesterday. Were able to come back and eventually had the bases loaded in the 9th, down only a run before Joel Hanrahan got the final out. Ball 1 to Rizzo.
A great approach by Rizzo in his first at bat of the ball game when he doubled to the gap in left center field. I mentioned during his last couple rounds of batting practice, you could almost see he was getting prepared to face a left-handed pitcher. Stay back, identify the ball, drive it the other way.
A couple of youngsters attending their first ever Cubs game. Cash and Holden Pasley, ages 6 and 4, from Indianapolis. Also happy 50th anniversary to Dan and Kathy Tankersley, longtime Cub fans. 8 kids and grandkids here today celebrating. Winnemac, Indiana. That one hit very deep. Gone for Rizzo. 2-run homer. Just like that, the Cubs are within 2. His 13th.
Not only is he just a flat good hitter, he has a great approach. He knows what he wants to do against that opposing pitcher on a particular day. It's clear to me that he wants to stay up the middle in the opposite way on Jeff Locke. Mentioned the double to the gap in left center and then a home run into the basket to the left to straightaway center.
The 0-1 to Soriano, hooked into left for another hit. That's 4 consecutive hits. Here comes Clint Hurdle, and as he heads out, Stats Sunday, let's take a look at the Cubs all-time batting average leaders. Cap Anson leading the way. We'll see if maybe Starlin Castro can sneak onto that list in a couple of years. We'll be back.
Very superstitious. Writings on the wall. When you believe in things that you don't understand and you suffer. Superstition the way.
Bud Light, the official beer of NFL fans who do whatever it takes. Here we go.
What's up, America?
I am Barney from America. America loves it. I see the face of America, and it is divine.
This is what America's all about. The future of America, right here.
America is a melting pot. This is America.
Let's watch this instead of working.
You're not thinking clearly.
Not thinking is what makes America great.
God bless America.
The verdict is in, America. There's a lot of mother lovers out there.
No.
Yes. You've tweeted.
I like you.
You've posted.
They love me.
And you've watched HIMYM on WGNA.
That's just awesome.
With fans this amazing, we'd just like to say...
Thank you!
Watch How I Met Your Mother and meet at McLaren's to join the legendary conversation.
All right, Len, we've had a serious violation of bleacher protocol. It's one thing to battle for a loose ball, but when you grab it out of somebody else's hand, nah, that's wrong.
15-yard penalty.
No, you don't get high fives for that either.
As he grabbed my arm.
No, that doesn't count. It's all fake hustle.
Not how we preach you do it.
No.
So Starlin Castro against right-hander Chris Rizzo. The Cubs back in the game, just like yesterday. They were down 6-1. Able to get back in it eventually. A 3-run 5th inning today. Right-hander Chris Rizzo. Castro represents the tying run. Soriano at first. Home run cut. He missed it. Mather and Rizzo have homered. High strike on a fastball. 0-2.
Also want to send a big Cubs hello out to the Lund family from Tomball, Texas. Kevin, Kim, Tanner, and Tyler. Big time Cub fans down in the heart of Texas.
Fouled off, still 0-2.
Well, and you may be able to notice at some point the left batting glove. There you see from Starlin Castro. He's got a big pad underneath his glove. Said he had a real bad bone bruise at one point in the minor leagues, and they've tried different things, but Starlin kind of came up with this on his own. He wears the pad on his skin underneath the batting glove to protect that vulnerable area on the heel of his hand. Never really noticed it before until batting practice today. I thought his hand was swollen, but he said, no, that's a pad I wear in there to avoid that bone bruise.
Good catch.
It's on the left hand. Occasionally when he opens his palm, you can see that padding. Of course, he gets right down on the knob of the bat. Even with 2 strikes, he's always done that. Said he's not going to change now.
A chopper right side, only one play is first base. Goes 4-3. Soriano now at second. And now Wellington Castillo has reached on a hit by pitch and then an error. Miguel Sokolovic up in the Cub bullpen. Looks like he'll be the 6th inning Cub reliever. Chris Rizzo is a converted outfielder. He struggled first 2.5 years of his pro career in the Marlins system. At Class A in 2003, the Marlins farm director at the time, Mark Del Piano, had an idea. Why not try pitching? So Rizzo did, and worked out well. He's been with the Marlins, Angels, Braves, and now the Pirates. .212th career appearance, all in relief in the big leagues. Way outside that time. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, Locke cannot get the win, even though he exited with a 2-run lead. He could not complete 5 innings. Base hit into center. Soriano around third. McCutchen's throw. Not in time, and on the play, Castillo moved up to second. 6-5.
No hesitation at all from Pat Listash. Wellington Castillo with a nice piece of hitting, grounding that ball into center field, and that throw is going to be a tad high. Good read by Wellington as he rounded the bag at first. He saw the arc of that throw from Andrew McCutchen, headed toward the backstop, and he gets himself into scoring position for Dave Chappelle.
So you can close the book now on the starter Locke. Through 4 innings, he had allowed 1 run, but ultimately charged with 5. Now the Cubs are 57 and 88, but I don't think too many of their opponents by the end of this season will have said they were a fun team to play. I don't know if that's always been the case. This team is scrappy. It plays hard. Not the most talented group in the league, but I think Dale's happy with how hard his team has played all year. Down 6-1 early, but they battled back. 4 runs in the 5th, trailing only 6-5.
On Rules of Engagement, there are relationship rules.
Oh, my God. What happened?
I was hungry.
I meant to my life.
Comedy rules.
Hey, is there smoking allowed in here?
No. Is someone smoking?
Yes, you are.
Rules of Engagement.
Wednesdays at 8 on WGN America.
So let me get this straight. You're telling me that this car is just as reliable as a Honda Accord next door?
Well, pretty much. It has a super long warranty. That's not the same thing. Sure it is. If anything breaks, you can rely on the warranty. So it's reliable.
So it's the warranty that's reliable, not necessarily the car.
Were you this tough on the Honda dealer? I feel like you weren't.
The Accord from Honda. Named most trusted brand in America by KBB.com. Only a Honda is a Honda.
Disaronno cocktail number 85. Ice. Disaronno. Prosecco. Disaronno Sparkling. Disaronno. Be original.
That's me, L50858544P. But I'm not just a number. I have a purpose. A higher purpose.
Have some respect!
Not good. No, man. Hello? No. Finally, the buck stops here.
McDonald's meaty, melty McDouble with 100% beef and cheese. And the juicy McChicken. Just some of the irresistible choices on the dollar menu. Only at McDonald's.
Finally, Mom's oven-baked taste straight from the microwave. Like oven-roasted chicken in a creamy Alfredo sauce. Marie Callender's new Comfort Bakes. It's time to savor.
Hey fans, next time you want to catch a Cubs game, head to StubHub, where you'll find the seats you want and the freedom to choose where you want to sit. I'm going to need a rule. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Chicago Cubs. For more information, visit Cubs.com/StubHub. We're big fans of StubHub, but I need a ruling from our fans out there. Is that not redundant? You'll find the seat you want and the freedom to choose where you want to sit. Right. Isn't that one and the same? I mean, we're winding down the regular season here, and this has been bugging the living daylights out of me since the first week of the year. I don't understand the wording of that particular read, but if you're looking for Cubs tickets, go to StubHub. They'll take good care of you.
Miguel Sokolovich, a pitcher, is on to pitch against Andrew McCutchen, who has walked, stolen a base, knocked in a run with a single, picked up another single, and stolen yet another base.
Batting first and leading off this inning is Andrew McCutchen.
.65 after the Cubs put up 4 in the 5th.
Ball 1, not a strike.
Sokolovich claimed off waivers from the Orioles on August 23rd. Recalled on September 2nd. Big league debut earlier with Baltimore. AAA International League midseason All-Star. Two and one. Yankees beat the Rays 6-4 to win 2 of 3 over the weekend. Joe Madden got ejected. Rays are now 5 back of the Yankees. And on the outside looking in, currently in the wild card race as well.
A good straight changeup. That's been his go-to pitch. He kind of uses his tailing fastball around the edges of the zone, but Has full confidence in that changeup to throw it in the middle of the strike zone as he does here to Andrew McCutchen and gets an awkward swing and a miss.
It was a rough week for the Rays. They went 1-5 at Baltimore and at the Yankees. Two.
What? Andrew McCutchen can't believe it. Clean him out a little bit. There you go.
Brings up a 3-2. And he walked him. Keep an eye on him again. He and Marte each with 2 stolen bases. Now with a 1-run game, the Pirates I'm sure will remain aggressive. Jay Chapman and Jeff Belleville, a couple of rookies up in the Cubs bullpen. It's a strike. They're in the 10th in Miami. Reds and Marlins tied at 4. Marlins tied the game in the 8th inning on a Jose Reyes RBI double. Houston leading the Phillies 5-4. Wow, what a devastating series loss that would be for the Phillies. Brewers shut out the Mets 3-0. Willie Peralta went 8 shutout innings. John Axford with a hitless 9th, so that's a combined 2-hit shutout. Brewers are 74-72. Right now 2 back of the Cardinals. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Not only records the punch out of Garrett Jones, but did so while holding Andrew McCutchen on over there at first base. Used the slide step, pick off attempt over at first. And now the double play still in order as Gabby Sanchez steps in to take his at bat. Gabby Sanchez and Neil Walker tied for the Pirates team lead. Each have grounded into 11 double plays this year. Chance for Sanchez to take the team lead here.
And through the Cubs bullpen. You have a weird dichotomy of hitting into double plays. Oftentimes it's when you hit a hard ground ball. Don't like striking out, but at least in that case, you only make one out. You never hit into a triple play, did you?
No.
Sorry, I asked.
Well, that was one of the negative things that I was able to avoid throughout the course of my career. I did get tagged out at second on the hidden ball trick one time, though.
Ooh.
Yeah, that hurt. Once. That's all it needs to happen is one time.
Learn your lesson. Barney can't catch it. McCutchen's going to have to hold it second. Blue hit for Sanchez, his second of the day.
Talk about protecting the plate. Just stuck his bat out there. Little floater. You could see McCutchen at the bottom of your picture there. Had to hold up momentarily. We've seen Darwin Barney range out there into right field to make some amazing catches on pop-ups, but not that time.
Jeff Beliveau coming on to face Pedro Alvarez. Cubs trailing 6-5 in the 6th.
On rules of engagement,
Here's your lunch.
if you don't break some rules,
Definitely register for this.
you're missing all the fun.
Here's a little secret. Women enjoy sex too.
That has not been my experience.
Comedy rules.
Sex for chores. One of those equals two of these.
How about I give you this?
Please, I can do that myself. Right? Okay.
Rules of engagement.
Wednesdays at 8 on WGN America.
Direct your attention to the television.
WGN.
WGN.
WGN. WGN America. WGN America. Where the fans are in charge.
This is WGN America, home to the biggest shows on television.
The biggest shows on TV.
Nice. Looks like WGN America filled out in all the right places.
I want to go to there. You're good, WGN America. You're very good.